Good morning and welcome everyone. Today is 17 January 1998. Today we're going to discuss about Akusala Chitta. Akusala Chitta is mean unwholesome consciousness or immoral consciousness. In Bali word, his number one is Somanasa Sahagata, Tithigata Sambayutta Asankharika. This is number one. Somanasa Sahagata is the meaning is accompanied by pleasure feeling. Tithigata Sambayutta is the meaning is connected with wrong view or wrong belief, wrong idea. Asankharika is the bottom gives the meaning right there. Asankha is unprompted, unprompted. Here is unprompted is meant when we do something. It's the instantly without any external or internal inducement or any premeditation. We do it right away. We call unprompted. This consciousness arises spontaneously, now without the prompting or inducement by experiencement is called unprompted or asankharika. Understand? This is the first unwholesome consciousness. So you can see on page 10, we translate in English. Just briefly, you can translate this stuff. Number one is the with pleasure, with wrong view, unprompted. So we should take some example to understand what is the meaning. What is meant? So I would like to take some example for this number one, this unwholesome consciousness. So when we do any evil acts, we are done by this one of those 12 unwholesome consciousness. For number one, that's the one person. One person, he liked to gamble. And then he lost his money. And then he go to his friend's house to borrow money. And when we go to his friend's house, he asks for money. And then his friend said, I don't have money to borrow. And then he will go to the bathroom to take a shower. And then the one who need money, who lost his money, and he see money on the table. He want to steal this money. And instantly, he steal his friend's money with joyfully. Here's he still instantly, it means unprompted, unprompted. It's with joy, it means somanasa sakdang, with pleasure. And here's with wrong view, it means he viewing there's no evil, because maybe he think, first I asked him to borrow, but he didn't give me. Now I have to steal his money. It's not sin. It's not evil. He has to believe that it's the wrong idea, wrong belief, wrong view, and steal his friend's money instantly with joy, with wrong view. Is the number one unwholesome consciousness arise. This makes sense? If you know number one, the rest, seven consciousness, you will understand right away. So we can take many examples. So another example, to make it clear, is the one who commits adultery. Maybe he thinks that even there's a man, even he has the woman has the husband, but because she loves me. So when I commit this adultery, it's not sin, it's not evil. Maybe he thinks that it's the wrong view, it's wrong belief, wrong idea, and he commits this adultery, this unprompted, but joyfully. This number one consciousness too. Because when we commit this adultery, we start joyful, with happy, just the pleasure feeling, with wrong view, see, this accompanied with the pleasure feeling, with happiness, and it's connected with strong view. It's unprompted, just do it right away. Just example of this number one consciousness. This number two, unwholesome consciousness, is in Bali, page 9, the somanasa sahakata. This accompanied by displeasure. Nadidigada sambayutta, connected with wrong view. Prompted. Prompted. This year's the prompted means this prompting may be induced by others, or it may be originate within oneself, because the prompted. So for example here, that one, the same example, one who gambled and lost his money, and still borrows the money from his friend and go to his friend's house, and then he asks for money, but his friends didn't give him any dollars, and then he thinks what I have to do. Another friend induced him, you see, on the table, a lot of money. You can steal his money because you already asked to borrow, but he didn't give you. Just go and take this money on the table. Just the one person, one of his friends induced him to steal his friend money. His man prompted, see, prompted, just induced by someone, just prompted. But at the time, so when he go and take his friend money, he feels which accompanied by pleasure feeling, with joyfully. And also, he think that because we already asked politely, but he didn't give us, so we have to take it as our friend. It's not sin, it's not evil. Maybe we have wrong idea, or wrong belief, wrong opinion. And then he took his friend money because his friend induced him many times to steal. This the example of number 2, the somanasa sahagata didhigata sambayutta sa sankharika. Now in English is with pleasure, with wrong view, prompted. So we can take many examples. Everyday activities, mostly this the 12 kind of unwholesome consciousness arrive in our mind. Maybe 75% a day. Except we control our mind, be mindful, aware of what happened, used by this the technique of meditation. We can control this unwholesome consciousness that arises all the time, maybe. Because in our mind, just if unwholesome consciousness that arises, this wholesome consciousness arises. Now if wholesome consciousness arises, unwholesome consciousness go away. Just one time, just one consciousness. That's why we need to practice meditation all the time, be mindful all the time. Otherwise, all this 12 kind of unwholesome consciousness arise in our mind. So, this number 2. Number 3, in Bali, somanasa sahagata. This is accompanied by pleasure, feeling. And didhigata vipayutta. This is unconnected with wrong view. Vipayutta is unconnected with wrong view. Asankharika is unprompted. It is the characteristic of this 3. Number 3 is the unwholesome consciousness. This one also we have to take example, to understand the meaning. Or the same example. One, go to gamble and lost his money. One who borrows the money from his friend and go to his friend's house, ask for money, but his friend didn't give him. And then he see a lot of money on the table, and instantly he steals. He takes his friend's money with joyfully. This accompanied by the pleasure, feeling. He will be very happy about this, the money he take it from on the table. And here's without wrong view, is mean, he said, oh, this is not good, it's not fair, it's not right, it's not supposed to do that, but because I need it, I have to do it. When he take this money, it's not unconnected with wrong view. His view is right, but he thinks it's not good. It's not right, it's not fair. It's sin, it's the evil, but because I need it, I have to take it. This means without wrong you. Even he steals his friend money instantly, by joyfully, but without wrong you. This example. And number 4 example is that's the same person. The same person. When he lost his money by gambling and school as money for, to borrow the money and ask his friends to borrow his money. But his friend didn't give him. And then another friend induced him. So now we come from far away, take 1 hour drive to come our friend's house to borrow his money, but he didn't give up. He's the rich man, so you see on the table a lot of money still. And then, according to his friend inducement, and he go and take his money. It's because of external inducement, his man induced him to steal his money because prompted. When he takes this money with joyfully, this somanasa, not somanasa. The view here is without wrong you, but he knows it's not right, it's not good, it's not fair, but necessary for him to steal it. At the time, the consciousness, the mind, the occur is the kind of number 4, unwholesome consciousness, with pleasure, with wrong view, prompted. He is prompted because some of his friends induced him. Even his friend not induced him, so he think by himself, now I have to pay for my bill. I don't have to pay for my payment, house payment. I don't have money to pay for my bill, so what I have to do? And I have to steal this my friend money. This he induced himself. This is prompted too. Prompted. That's why this is prompted. This induced by someone else or by oneself. We call prompted. So when he takes after he steals his friend money, he feels very happy. Oh, now I get money. Like before my bill, he feels very happy about that. Just called with pleasure, without wrong you, prompted. This number 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 kind of this unwholesome consciousness. This accompanied by pleasure feeling. The pleasure feeling. Another is the 5, 6, 7, 8 is the accompanied by indifference feeling. So we call ubekha sakata. Ubekha sakata. Or why I would like you to remember the Bali, because later on we don't have to use in English, In Bali word is very short. Ubekha, you know right away. We have to say this accompanied by pleasure, feeling, because somanasa, right away. So since now we have to remember both in Bali and English. So ubekha sakata is meant accompanied by indifference. And ditigada sambayutta, the meaning connected with wrong view. Asankharika, unprompted. Right? It's the same. If you already know number one, that remains the seven consciousness very easy, Don't be spoiled about this to remember all this term, this word, That is number one, somanasa sahagata, dedikada sambayutta, asankharika. When you try to remember number two, just the last word, asankharika, change to sa-sankharika, unprompted and prompted. It's the same, right? And also, number three, somanasa sagada, the same with number one. And ditikada, vipayutta. Number one and two is ditikada, sambayutta, connected with wrong view. Number three and four is the without wrong view. We call ditikada, vipayutta. Number three is the asankharika, unprompted. Number four is the sa-sankharika, prompted. That's it. So after you remember number 1, 2, 3, 4, this is accompanied by the pleasure feeling. And about 5, 6, 7, 8 is the ubekha, sahagata. Just to change the feeling from somanasa to ubekha, right? From pleasure to indifference. Arinsta just that same with number 1, 2, 3, 4. Just that how to remember, so you have to be careful of the word, it's the different word only. So number 4 is number 4. We have to take example, the same example, about stealing is this unwholesome consciousness is rooted in attachment. Steal someone's money is rooted in attachment. And when we commit adultery, get involved with some husband, some one wife, it's rooted in attachment too. So we can take 2 examples here. All this 12 kind of unwholesome consciousness, some rooted in attachment. This is the one group. Number 1 to 8 is rooted in attachment. And number 9 to 10 is rooted in ill will. 11 and 12 is rooted in delusion, ignorance. So here why we call akusala. You will see it's page 9. This akusala citta. Akusala is because all this 12 types of the unwholesome consciousness, they are spring from attachment, ill will, and delusion. That's why we call akusala. Now akusala. This number 5, we take example number 5. In Bali, we call ubekha sahagata, ditikada sambayutta, asankharika. So ubekha sahagata is meant accompanied by indifferent feeling. Ditikada sambayutta is connected with wrong view. Asankharika is meant unprompted. So, for example, it's one man to go to somewhere and fall in love with one woman who already have husband, and then he commits this adultery. without any premeditation. This we call unprompted. There's no planning before, just instantly commit this sexual misconduct. Because unprompted. At the time, maybe he's not feel very happy about that. Maybe it's the feeling is accompanied by indifferent feeling. Maybe it's not straight for him. But with wrong view here, with wrong view, what's mean? We commit sexual misconduct. It's wrong view. It's not right. It's the evil. But he thinks that it's not evil. It's not sin. Because she loved me. So this human right, maybe he thinks that his view, his opinions. That's why he commit this sexual misconduct. It's not sin. It's not sin. It's not evil. If he have these opinions, like this, we call wrong view, wrong belief, wrong opinion. Didikada sampayutta. This is one kind of this, or example for number 5. With difference, with wrong view, unprompted. For number 6, example, the same person who commits sexual misconduct. Here's the difference. One is the prompted. Now number 5 is unprompted. She's commit right away. It's number 6 the prompted. This he didn't want to do. He didn't want to commit this sexual misconduct. Because the ladies, the women already have husband, but he think that, anyhow, because she loved me. So it's not sin. It's human right. Maybe he think that. And when he did it, this accompanied by indifferent feeling. But one of his friends is that you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. Go ahead, do it. If someone induced him, but he don't want to do that, before. When his friend induced him many, many times, and then he commit this sexual misconduct. It's meant prompted, induced by someone, others. Or maybe just he himself, if you think about it, what I have to do, I have to go ahead, I have to turn back, I have to go ahead, think about it, in his mind. And anyhow, it's not, I have to, because she loved me, or I have to do it right away. It's not sin. After he thinks the many, many times in his mind, and then he commits sexual misconduct. This also prompted, induced by, the eternal inducement. This is for example. For number 7, ubekha sahagata, this accompanied by indifferent, and didikata vipayutta, unconnected with wrong view. Asankharika, unprompted. See, number 7. With different, without wrong view, unprompted. The same person, for example, when someone commit sexual misconduct, at a time commit by, in different feeling, it's not happy so much about that. And without wrong you, he know that it's not right, it's not fair. If someone's do it to my wife, I have this feeling, something like that, He understand that it's wrong you, it's the communist, it's wrong you. He know it's wrong you. It's we call without wrong you, because he knows it's not fair, it's not right. But he cannot control his mind, and he commit right away, unprompted. It's no need to someone else to induce him. He don't have to think many times about that. He's committed right away because unprompted. That's why number 7 is when someone does this sexual misconduct, is with indifferent or without wrong view, unprompted. And number 8, the last one, Ubekha Sakata in Bali word, accompanied by indifferent feeling. And Didikata Vipayutta, without wrong view, Sa Sankharika, prompted. This one, so we can take example for who commit sexual misconduct, or maybe we can take example, someone steals someone's money, so and so. Depend. We can take many examples here. So if the same person, if we take for example, he commits sexual misconduct because his friend induced him, or instigate him to do it, because prompted. When he did it, he's by indifferent feeling. He don't happy about it. He's not happy about it. Because indifferent feeling. And without wrong view, it means he knows it's not fair, it's not right. But his friends, someone else induced him, why you have to do it? That's why he committed this case. We call without wrong view, prompted. This, for example, for consciousness rooted in attachment. In Bali, we call lobha, mula, citta. Lobha is the attachment. Because all this, you don't have to worry about that. After we remember all this term, the whole chapter, the whole, class, we have used this term every day. Every day. Because first we have to remember all this term. Later on, it's very easy for us. If you cannot remember the term, the meaning, later on, you don't understand what he's talking about, So I would like all of you to try to remember it. It's not, one day just about 10 consciousness. So already has about 121. Maybe 10 days you get recorded. This 8 types of consciousness are rooted in attachment. They call lobha, mula, citta. If you read the book, you see many times attachment, many times about that, and lobha. Now, later on, attachment is not just as a root. We have 6 roots. The attachment, ill will, or ignorance, or non-attachment, or goodwill, and wisdom. This is the root. When we commit this the evil, so one kind of this 12 unwholesome consciousness arise. Just for example, Now, I will all of you say, or one time together about, it's the number, page 9 in Bali word first. It's the Lobha Mula Chitta 8. Number 1. So Manasa Sahagada Tithigada Sambayutta Asankharika. Number 2. So Manasa Sahagada Tithigada Sambayutta Sasankharika. Number 3. So Manasa Sahagada Tithigada Vipayutta Asankharika. Number 4. So Manasa Sahagata Tithigata Vipayutta Sasankharika. Number 5. Ubekha Sahagata Tithigata Sambayutta Asankharika. Number 6. Ubekha Sahagata Tithigata Sambayutta Sasankharika. Number 7. Ubekha Sahagata Tithigata Vipayutta Asankharika. Number 8. Ubekha Sahagata Tithigata Vipayutta